So magic is not just for witches. Hear me out. My name's Elizabeth Eleanor, and I'm an intuitive empath, and I don't identify as a witch. What I am, though, is an energy healer, and I support women in particular, some men, but mainly women, to really hear and express their higher truth, their higher self, and get rid of or clear all the lower vibrations that hold them back and weighted down in this ordinary mundane life, and to actually experience magic at its highest potential. Because here's the thing, when you are a magical woman, it doesn't mean that you do rituals and spells and talk to deities and all of those things, though it might. It might mean that that's what you love and appreciate, and that's your belief, and all of those things. It doesn't discount that. But being in magic is really stepping into that higher frequency that we all have access to, right? And I keep talking about it throughout this process. I'm doing 365 days on YouTube. If you're watching and this is the first time, hi, lovely to meet you, though I haven't met you yet, right? Like I'm really looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. But if you want to subscribe, and hit the subscribe button and grab the bell, press the bell for notifications. I'm still getting my head around all of this. I'm just here expressing the magic that I've had in my life, because I've had everything from 3 shooting stars when I first spiritually woke up to meeting the love of my life on the beach in a fairy tale encounter. If there was a drone around, it would have been straight out of the movies. And my maiden name was Payne, Payne, and his surname is Makepeace. But I've had all sorts of things in between, from Oleander Street to Oleander Drive. I've had a breeze through a 4.5 centimeter brain tumor. I've told the whole story through this experience. If you want to go into my channel, and you'll get to see some of the things that has happened to me. But I don't do rituals. I don't howl at the moon. In fact, I love taking photos of the moon, and I love hanging out. Just recently, I've started really tuning into the moon energy, but it's not been something that I've done throughout my life. I'm very grounded. My head is quite scientific. I love quantum physics and epigenetics and talking about neuroscience and things like that, because that's the sort of work that I do. I bring science and spirit together to really bring some grounding information into the magic that is us. Because here's the thing again, we are way more than what our little mind thinks we are. We are way more than this body. We are a divine energy field, a soul that came to experience the light and wants to get back to the light, is the light. But there's little things that are in the way. There's little, energy bumps that are in the way that we have accumulated as we learn to express ourselves, as we learn to hold more light capacity. Because we go into this body where you could almost say we go into the dark so we can express our light. And there's this really beautiful book, actually, that I'm going to talk about. And I just had that thought. There's a book that's absolutely beautiful. It's a children's book from Neil Donald Walsh, and it's called Little Soul and the Sun. In fact, if you look on YouTube, you can see someone reading it to you. It's got beautiful illustrations, but it shows you all these candles lit up, right? And when you're in the light, how do you know you're in the light? Because there's light everywhere. But when you come into the darkness and you share your light, well, that's a different story, right? Now you can see your light. Now you can experience your light, because you're lighting up the darkness. And that is the magic of living as a human in this physical form, is recognizing ourselves as more than this body, more than this limited mind, more than this ordinary, mundane, muggle energy that is here, where we're plugged into the system and we're being completely conditioned to separate and drift instead of recognizing our strength and our power and our light. Because can you imagine when we have that ability to really tap into our light on a collective? The amount of freedom and choice and peace and love and abundance and wealth and success and, oh my gosh, keep going. Like, it'd be massive, like going into an ice cream shop and every single flavor that you can ever imagine is there, right? And so you can taste test every single one of them. You don't want to have them all together. You want to have one at a time so you can really taste the flavors and really get the essence of the flavors and the texture of the ice cream. So even though I don't classify myself as a witch and I don't do rituals and spells, one of the things that I have as I've grown through my spiritual experience is recognized the wholeness and the visceral experience of stepping into embodying magic. So that means that when I am having those moments where I'm in the light completely, it feels even better when I'm sitting in a beautiful place, just outside that door there. I've got a meditation area. I put on a candle. I look out at the beautiful sun and the sky. Sometimes I see the moon from there. And I am in the essence of the moment. And I just tune directly into source energy. I'm not one to connect. I did at one stage connect to archangels and things like that, but now I just go directly to source. And I go directly to the light and I just embody that light and I feel it in my energy field. I feel my third eye really activate and I feel my crown chakra opening so that I'm allowing more and more light. I'm allowing that energy into this little body, right? This limited part of me, and I'm allowing that to expand my energy field and becoming one with the universe. Because when you're in that space, that's when all these magical experiences happen, right? So it's really interesting. We are in a particular time frame at the moment, as I'm recording this, where all of the planets are in alignment. And it's an interesting time because the last time this happened, I did some research. The last time that this happened was in the 16th century. I think it was 1665 or something like that. And that's a really interesting time because when was that? That was the time of the witch trials. That's when women were being burnt at the stake for just being in their essence, being in their light, being connected to nature and herbs and being, midwives and all of those things, right? They were the wise women. They were the healers of the time. And because they were so powerful, they were burnt at the stake. Well, I would not be surprised that even though I do not identify as a witch here, many of us women have come back from those times because we're not being burnt at the stake anymore. We are here and it's time. The consciousness is available for us to speak our truth now and to be able to do that with safety. So it's a really powerful time. So if you're watching this and you're a woman and you're going, I'm just feeling that wobble still of being able to speak my truth, then reach out, jump into the comments down there. There's a box with my website. There's a whole heap of free resources. At the end of this month, we are actually having a monthly mixer. I call it as a free event in my Awakening Magical Women Choosing Conscious Relationships Facebook group. And it's called Unlock the Secrets to Your Inner Voice. where we're going to be really diving into clearing anything that is stopping you from feeling safe. Like, why is that there? And let's move some of that stuff out of the way. So if that sounds like you and you're interested in that, jump into my website. You'll find that there's a link in there for registration. And I will catch you tomorrow.